So I'm just about to start shot blasting this vise up, but obviously there's no point us having this tool post on because this is looking fairly good. So I'll take that off and we'll just shot blast this vise arrangement that we can see here. This is in a fairly poor way, so it won't really matter if damage is done to it, but we're hoping not to do any damage as long as we keep the slideways pretty much covered up, which have been covered by oil most of the time there, and we'll just see what happens. I'll put some tape on these bits here, which are either locating pins. These are locating pins for indexing it at true 90 degrees, etc. with respect to the base. You see the little dimples in the bottom of here where my thumb is. They mate up with these press ball bearings there, which are spring loaded. So I'll try and protect this surface as much as I can so that we don't get any rubbish inside there, but the rest of it, all of this, can be pretty much shot blasted up, and we'll do that now. So for those people who don't know what a shot blaster or a sandblaster is, this is what it is. So basically we've got a viewing glass at the top here, which you would look down inside to see what was going on inside. Your hands would go in through these gloves here. Inside there are some big gloves, so you will put your hands into the gloves. There's a warning label about what to do and what not to do. On the inside of this glass there is a plastic protector such that this doesn't actually get damaged from inside, and this is what's inside. So there's a lock on the side, a door that opens and closes to load your material in that you're going to shot blast, your item, and here's what's inside. So these are the gloves that you put your hands into through the holes at the front of the machine there, and then all there is an air gun. So looking at this gun then, we have an air line here which just goes to the compressor. That goes to the compressor, and when you press the trigger, air is emitted through a valve and it comes out of this nozzle here, and as it's doing so it creates a vacuum in this pipe which draws up. It goes up and round and down and into the bottom of there, and in the bottom of there is the white powder. We can see the white powder in the bottom of this hopper, and this hopper is shaped like that, such that when the white powder falls down into the bottom of this hopper, and as the air comes in this pipe here through the valve across the top of the gun and out of the nozzle, it draws up the medium, which is just very fine sand, so it doesn't do too much damage to your components. It's a very fine special sand that's used in these machines, and that's how it works. You have the gloves such that you don't hurt your hands whilst this stuff is being shot blasted at you through the air pressure. There's a light inside that should illuminate the cabinet, but it does get covered in dust, as you can see, and so then you find that hardly any light's coming out, as you can see. And you're looking through that porthole at the top there, which is very, very, very badly scored, and there's supposedly a plastic sheet on the inside, and when the plastic sheet gets tired, gets such that you can't see through it like it is now, you replace that plastic sheet on the inside, and the piece that you look through on the outside is fairly protected. So this should be spot on clear really to look through, but we can hardly see through. So you're mostly working on feel when you're working inside this cabinet, and you've got the big gloves on. So let's have a look at the compressor that's running this thing. So here's the compressor that we're going to be using to run this shot blasting machine. That's all connected up, ready to go. And just pull the red button on the top and it may even fire up if enough pressure's already been lost through the pipework system. But it hasn't. It hasn't lost enough pressure yet to switch back on. So let's be about the job. So I've taped off the indexing balls that were protruding up before. So I'll put this inside now and give it a go at blasting. So we'll close the door. Put one's hands inside, turn these lights off. I might stand a better chance then at seeing what's inside. I can actually see, but very little, so there's absolutely no point. I'm not sure whether you can hear that running. There's no point having the camera going, looking inside here. I really have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just moving this gun around because I can't really see. So I'll have a quick look and see what, if any, effect has happened. You can see the dust perhaps coming out. So it's quite awkward unless you've got a good visibility through the glass, which I haven't through this. I'm not sure how quickly it's going to remove the foreign matter that we need moving, but we'll get to find out. Steady away. So as you can probably see there, it's very light at the moment. What's going on? It's going to take a while by the look of it. But it's certainly making some kind of an impression. So I'll just beaver away like this with it, and I'll bring you back when I've finished, or when I've done as much as I'm going to do on it tonight. But there we are, that's what it is. Let's put the light on for you. So hopefully you can see that there. So there we go, that's about 20 minutes in the shop blaster or something like that. And we can see that it's made a vast improvement, but there's still some medium on there, the shop blasting medium. So I'll have to blow that off with the normal airline, and then coat it up with some oils and WD-40s, etc. and see how we go. Hopefully get any residue out of these slides that might have got in. But as we can see, the insulation tape covering the two little pop-up ball bearings, which must be spring loaded, the tapes prevented them getting damaged. So all in all, it's a marked improvement, isn't it? You can see residue still in there. So yeah, excellent. I'll give it another couple of minutes and then I'll call that a do. I just thought I'd show you that, but that's about 20 minutes worth, something like that. Okay. So now we've moved across to just a normal airline. Just a normal airline. We've got rid of any damp and water and condensation that might have been in the airline from a previous use. We've got our gloves on. We've got our goggles on. So we'll just give this a quick blow off now to get rid of the as you can see, there's still some water coming out of this, but predominantly it's dry. And there's more water coming out again. It's picked up some more water. Now the airline's running dry again. And now it's running wet again. So when you've got a dry moment, tap on. It's like a high pressure washer at times. Not sure if you can make that out, but there's even a scale around here for the angle with a little mark on the bottom of the vise there, such that you can get something of a degree angle. So we didn't know that was hiding under the rust. So I'll do some more cleaning of this, etc. And when I undo these bolts here, I'll be able to spin it round and do more cleaning of it. But I'll do that off camera. It's pretty much the same thing. So now we've got the muck and the rubbish off this thing and we can actually see what it's constructed of. I've decided that I'm going to remove these screws here, and that will allow me to remove these bottom parts of the slideway mechanism. Then I'm going to take this end plate off here by undoing these two screws here. Then I can unscrew this vise section from the end of this screwed rod, which will allow me to clear things out thoroughly. And what I'm thinking is this section here of this slideway is actually pitted with rust, and the rust again will be built up proud of the finished machine surface that was there originally. So again, I'm going to put some of the anti-rusting solution on there to reduce the mounds of rust down to base level again, such that it will slide along nicely. What I did find was that although most of these screws came out fine, one of them was very tight, so I had to put the screwdriver in and then hit it with a hammer whilst trying to turn the screw in an undoing anti-clockwise direction, sorry. But even with the correct size bladed screwdriver and good blades, that wouldn't undo. So I soaked it overnight in WD-40 and then tried again, and still going in the correct anti-clockwise direction it wouldn't undo, even hitting the screwdriver with the hammer again as an impact driver almost. So then I tried the other method of trying to screw the screw in a little bit rather than screwing it out. That sometimes works to loosen screws off, and that did appear to have some effect on it. So firstly I tried unscrewing it, then I tried the W40 and unscrewing it, and that didn't work. Then I tried tightening it a little bit, and that did work. Then my other option then would have been to put some heat onto this section of the vise and see whether heat could get that out. So that's the plan now. So I'll take these screws out, remove these components, and then hopefully strip it down into pieces such that I can give it a really thorough clean with the anti-rusting agent, and we'll see where we go from there. So we can get all these bits cleaned up and then lubricated and put back together. That should do them there. Take these out of here. That's the end plate off. Now I'm hoping the vise itself, this section here, will just run off the end of this threaded section. There we are. And in here there's a little screw at the side there, just to tighten it onto there to give it some tension. So there are the components now that this thing's actually made of. So I can now get the anti-rusting solution in on all these components and work that through, clean it all up and put it back together. So I'll do all that de-rusting stuff off camera because you've seen all that before. But there it is. So next time you see this, it'll be nice and cleaned up and oiled up and put back together. Okay, thanks for watching. See you soon.